Yeah. But I have heard this in other communities, that all of a sudden, you know, they just kind of plop them in there. Just looking to avoid a future.
Issue.
Yep. Okay, I will call to order the regular meeting of Monday, May 23rd to order. I ask that all who have not signed in, please do so. Please turn off other electronic devices. Please conduct any private conversation in the hallway or outside. Emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. And at this time, if you please join the town board and salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, everyone. What we'd like to do at our last meeting of the month is identify employees who are going to be celebrating birthday in the upcoming month. So in the month of June, we actually have 8 employees that will be celebrating birthday, starting with the 5th of June, Adam Rysek, Aaron Brandt on the 6th, our town clerk. Oh, Karen, you can have the day off. On the 8th, Karen, our town clerk, will probably take the day off. Adam Reitz on the 11th, Renee McConnell on the 14th, Councilman Dave Condon on the 16th, and Travis Thompson on the 27th, and Brian Bordeaux on the 30th. In addition, Town Hall will be a location again this year for early voting. This will start and take place from Saturday, June 18th through Sunday, June 26th. A reminder to the public as well as the board, the first meeting of the month of June is Monday the 13th. This is intended to be a pay bills only meeting at 8 a.m. Meeting will be held in the supervisor's conference room, and Zoom is an option. Reminder, all town facilities will be closed next Monday on the 30th. Memorial Day Parade is this coming week from today, the 30th. And just so you know, board members, hopefully you're joining us. Staging begins at 9:45, and that'll be at the Victor Campus or / Early Childhood Center. And the route will be like it has been pre-pandemic, come down High Street to Main, and then there'll be a ceremony across the street behind the Presbyterian Church at Village Hall. And again, there is a parade lineup. I know we have a lot of our Little League teams, hockey players, and so hopefully Victor Central School Band, so hopefully we'll have a great turnout. In addition, on Memorial Day as well, I know there is a pancake breakfast from 7 to 9 a.m., and then a car show later in the day from 11 to 4, and that'll be at Twin Elders Brewery. It's a warm day. I would encourage everyone to hydrate. Yeah. Okay, enough of announcements. For your consideration, approval of meeting minutes from May the 9th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Manifest number 10. We'll ask our town clerk to please introduce this.
Manifest number 10 for 2022 in the amount of $226,212.04 has been reviewed by the Victor Town Board with the following accounts charged: general townwide, general outside village, highway townwide, and trust and agency.
Thank you, Karen. Payment number 1 is to B&M International. This is for the June rent for courts. Number 2 is Bluestone Creek Development, June rent for Parks and Rec facility. Payment to Guardian Insurance for dental, our employees and our retirees. Next is payment to Land Pro Equipment, Parks and Rec lawnmower. Payment to Mengel Metzger Bar for the town and courts annual audit. Payment to MVP for June healthcare for the employees and retirees. Payment to NOCO Energy Fuel for the month of April and May. and payment to Tracy Equipment for highway truck repairs. The total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $158,186.35. Total town expenditures minus the previous mentioned expenditures equals $68,025.69. Board members, any questions on this evening's abstract of claims? Hearing none, a motion to approve the payments thereof.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, privilege of the floor. We have two individuals requesting privilege of the floor. We'll start with Nicholas Herman.
Over here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks for the privilege. Hopefully you guys have my
Yes.
proposed
Yeah,
fence.
Great. We have the description on the application, a map. I think there's some county paperwork in here, correct?
Perfect. Yeah, really, it's on the east side of my house. There's a drainage easement that it's like 2 feet off of the edge of the house line itself. I'm proposing just to put the fence a little further in there. So around the pool, I have a little green space for my kids and stuff to play. After talking to Keith, I don't think there'd be a huge issue. I think his biggest concern was that I drill, a fence post or something into the actual pipe itself. So, I'm proposing building 2.5, 3 feet off of where the actual pipeline is. It's pretty easy to see as it runs the exact property line and comes out at the base.
I'm going to ask our highway superintendent, are you aware of this application? Any conversation with Keith or anyone else?
Yeah, I spoke with Keith earlier because I was not aware of what was going on. I guess his only concern was that it is plastic pipe, so there's probably not going to be a need to get in there to repair it, but if there ever was, we would need access enough to, open that pipe up. It is a 30-inch pipe. So he said the more room we could have accessible to that pipe would be better. So I don't know, I don't know the exact measurements of what's up there to work with.
Should I know the exact measurements? My apologies.
I'm looking, are you saying the exact measurements of the dimension of the easement area or the pipe itself?
The easement area plus in relation where the pipe is.
You haven't taken the survey map up there to take a look?
I have not,
Keith?
no. I wasn't aware of this till this morning when I looked at the agenda. So I talked to Keith briefly, but I did not get a chance to go look at it, so.
Keith made mention of something to the effect of if I sign off on some kind of waiver that, like, if you guys had to get in there.
Right. If effectively, that's one of the issues you're going to have to understand is that in the event that even if this is granted and we allow you to locate the fence within that easement area, if there was an issue where we had to get in to address that pipe, we may have to remove your fence, and the town wouldn't be responsible for relocating that fence or putting it back up. But that's just something that you'll have to take into consideration, assuming that the board is comfortable with it. But I think Keith's concern, and Wes may be able to speak to this as well, is just making sure where they estimate that pipe is underground, that we're inside of it just so that it doesn't get punctured. But, that's just want to let you know that procedurally, if in fact that you have to get in there, your fence could be removed, and it would have to be removed. If it has to be removed, it has to be removed. There's nothing we can do about that.
I'm totally comfortable signing off on that if it has to be removed in some capacity or at some point in time. Pay for a new fence or what have you.
Wes, I don't know if you had any other I didn't have any conversation with Keith. I was just going by his notes.
Just for the record, the town clerk's office did refer this submittal to the town engineer, and we did take a look at it. We compared the proposed drawing with the approved subdivision plans, and in particular, the location of that 30-inch stormwater pipe. So the only concern, well, two concerns. Number one, there didn't appear to be a measurement or a distance between the proposed fence and the existing pipe, based on the sketch that was provided to our office. So it's unknown. I mean, it appears that the proposed fence is going to be far enough away from the existing pipe, but without having a dimension specified on the drawing, it's, that leads to our second concern is which we kind of echoed The stormwater program manager's concern is that if they encounter the stormwater pipe during construction or erection of the fence, drilling post holes or digging post holes, if they run into the pipe, we recommend that the property owner contact the planning and building office for an assessment as to whether any repairs or replacement of the pipe needs to be made.
So those plastic pipes, Wes, when they're put underground, they wouldn't have any type of metal wire, so they could detect where the pipe actually is?
There may be. I'm unsure whether or not there's a detection strip above this particular pipe. It may be there. I mean, that's something that I could look into, the existing plans, the approved subdivision plans and construction plans to see if it's there. So,
Is your pool in place already, or you're waiting? This is all.
It is indeed in place, yeah. We're waiting on the patio at the moment. Takes a while to get those blocks in and all that. When it comes to placement of the pipe, I looked on the street, so where the actual gutter went down, and again, on the back side of my yard, you can actually see where the pipe came out. So that's kind of where I was shooting my line to try to be 2.5, 3 feet off the line, enough for run another lawnmower stripe on the sides. My neighbor's not responsible for caring for the edge of the fence.
Well, as I mentioned at the start of the meeting, we don't meet till the second meeting in June, so I'd rather not. But I guess the reservations is the distance. Is that what we're hearing?
So the fence is gonna go on the back of the garage where the gas fireplace is, off the back, comes around, angles up, and then goes along that easement, and then back into the side of the house about 10 feet off the front corner of the house.
Yeah, I actually measured from the back of the house. It's 18 feet
Yeah.
from the back. I just want to get just in front of all the pool stuff, the
Yeah,
heater and filter.
Right.
provided the property owner's testimony tonight indicating that he's, from the street line, he kind of assessed where where that pipe is between the field inlet and then the outlet. It's generally going to be a straight line between there, and if you've indicated that you're trying to target to be 3 feet off of that, that would be, 3 feet off the center line of a 30-inch pipe, so that likely gives you enough room to avoid, hitting the pipe during construction. So maybe one of the things that could be done, I don't want to speak for the planning and building office, but perhaps the stormwater program manager could make a site visit with the code enforcement officer, just to verify that the proposed, line or alignment of the fence posts would avoid the stormwater pipe.
Yeah, have you got the materials for the fence and everything already or not? So
I've not.
if you
I'm still
end
getting
up
bids for
meeting
that.
with Keith up there and Keith says, oh, it's got you probably should come in another foot or something like that to make some room,
Absolutely.
you could probably do that.
I mean,
I'd be more comfortable with that, before, call 1-800-DIG. Maybe there is a protective wire across the top of it. That'd be great. If there's not, you and Keith go up and meet with Nicholas, and then, make sure that we're not going to infringe on that, and then make sure that we're good, and then the same rules apply. All the liability falls to the homeowner in the event that anything goes amiss. But I'd be happier personally if we just, erred on the side of caution, and then that'd be my take, Supervisor Marin.
Nope. So
Mark, is it common where if there's a rebar set that we should be able to find the rebar and find the line, or is over time does that, the survey shows rebar set for that, and when we put them in significant enough so we should be able to find the corners?
I have not looked for them in the past, so I don't have a good answer on that, Mike. So,
Right. I mean, two things we gotta find out is if there's a detection strip on the pipe and if the rebar's there. I guess if we don't do that, we don't attempt to find the rebars that were set originally for the pin it. Or otherwise you gotta, pay a guy to find them, I guess, if it was that necessary, but it should be, I guess first thing we gotta do is find out if there's a detection strip in the pipe itself, and then it would be easy, and then it would eliminate a lot of question. I think.
So what Councilman Condon is proposing is, again, working with the resident, but certainly providing the fence to be in this drainage easement as long as it's under the satisfaction of both our stormwater management and the code enforcement officer. And Mark, you agree with that? Council?
Yes, and the execution of the indemnity hold harmless agreement.
Right. Everyone else in agreement?
Yep.
Okay. At this point, Wes, would you do me a favor and maybe follow up with Keith tomorrow, Keith and Kim? Yep. Okay, thank you, okay?
So what did we make an agreement on just now? I just want to make sure I understand. I'm taking notes for my wife. I got to report back, you know?
Yes, it sounds like you certainly, you have your approvals, it's just a matter of our team getting out there, and certainly, when they're satisfied, we're going to leave it up to their expertise on
So
it.
it's where to place the fence, essentially.
They're just going to come out to the site and help you dictate where it needs to be located, and then once you execute that hold harmless agreement, and you've got the placement.
Beautiful, awesome.
Okay, yeah, the last thing we want you to do is your wife get attached to this fence, and then we have to come and tear it out.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
welcome. Yep. Mr. Martin, and thank you for following the process, and I know it, cost you a couple of weeks, but we're glad you're here, and hopefully we
Well, I
resolve
appreciate
your
the
issue
time
this
again.
evening.
I appreciate the time again. And going off your advice from 2 weeks ago, I met via Zoom with the Conservation Board. It sounds like they have given their blessing with the land swap. I know I need to bring a surveyor out to give within the right amount of space.
Right swap.
Yeah. Effectively, what we need the surveyor to kind of just show to us is that the area that's going to be coming out of the conservation easement is going to be the exact same size areas going in. And as well as they're going to need to provide a description of right now there's a legal description of the conservation easement as it traverses your property and goes through the whole thing. So they're going to need to update that description to show it coming in one area and bumping out in another.
Yes.
And if you can hang on a couple of minutes, I've got your map. I can kind of show you what I mean, just to help you when you're talking to the surveyor. And if you want the surveyor to reach out to me directly to kind of coordinate that, I can help you through that. But it's basically, we just need to be able to provide a legal description that we can replace the existing easement description with this new one to effectuate the land swap.
Okay.
And the meeting minutes were very thorough, and I know Councilman Kohovic, you were in attendance. Any comments at all?
They reviewed the project as we suggested you did, and you brought forward, and he created the swap. There was a little bit of discussion, though, about how big and how long, and so they kind of worked their way through that, and as long as it was equitable on the swap, they were fine with it. So he's not planning on taking out any trees or anything like that, so the Conservation Board was, number one, glad to have the input, and number two, approve the plan.
They're very thorough.
Yeah.
It was a lengthy read.
It's not necessary. It's like watching a police show sometimes with their questioning, but they're very thorough and very passionate about what they do.
And I totally appreciate that. I mean, I wanted to present the case to everyone, and I'm willing to work with everyone, so.
We're all good?
Yes.
And if you hang on, council will,
Do you mind if I step up?
certainly, you go.
Thank you, everyone.
Is this the one you're charging us for tonight? Wait. You're charging us for? Okay, we'll start with Susie. Any public comments? No? Okay. Any public comment from the public? Okay. Moving to reports of town officials, you have the submitted reports from the highway superintendent, an update from the recycling and transfer station, report from IT. I think our town clerk has a question for the board?
Yes, the liquor license for
And just,
Homewood Suites, they amended it because on the original one, they put a license for a hotel, and they couldn't do that, so bar tavern. Any objections?
no objections.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank the members who are able to make the Victor Business Awards Luncheon. Continued success. This coming Thursday is an all-day open house in the clerk's office for Renee McConnell, celebrating her 20 years of service to the town of Victor. Previously, I had mentioned that the Victor Travel Plaza was closing June 1st, set to reopen sometime in January. The timeline has been pushed back to August 8th, 2020 for the closure, and I had previously reported this on February 28th. I can tell you, just going to the Mass Pike and back this weekend, there's a lot of plazas that I'll be surprised if they don't come up with another timeline pushback, so.
Yeah, Jack, I would agree with that, because we've been traveling quite a bit back and forth over the last month, and they even closed the roof in on a couple of those projects where, I don't know if something got delayed, but
Yeah.
it's taken a long, long time for them to get,
Frame and roof on a
Yeah.
couple of them, that's it.
that's it.
And, yeah, so it's,
Usual pit stops for gas and restrooms have to be adjusted, don't they?
Yes, they do.
yeah, next rest area, 60 miles, oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Plan your travel appropriately.
No. And on the 11th of May, I had the opportunity to, with Supervisor Englesby, to recognize our State Police Investigator, Mark Eifert, also our Victor Fire Chief here at Ravenwood Golf Course. This was for law enforcement awards. In addition, the 3 Ontario County deputies that make up the Issue Mall Patrol were recognized. And I know all of us, we feel the pinch when we go to the gas pumps, but I know Casey recently, when she was paying the diesel fuel for the last month, she said it jumped from $3.88 to $5.21 in a 1-month period. So I know many communities, municipalities, fire districts are going to be in challenging times when it comes to towards the end of the year, probably even the fall. They'll already exceed or meet their fuel budgets for the calendar year. In addition, at a Board of Supervisors meeting recently, we recognized 10 individuals around the county. I was disappointed that it was only 10, but we were fortunate. We actually had 4 individuals from the town of Victor to recognize. So, and I want to thank Councilman Mike Guinan for attending the groundbreaking ceremony at Pet Pride over this weekend. A number of us were out of town, so I do appreciate you doing. Yeah, I know they're very grateful for the support they received here from the town. I know they had a grant application, so. Board members, you have any committee you'd like to report out on?
To make mention, on the 14th, I attended the Kid-Friendly Bike Fest over at the Parks and Rec. Thank you, Brian, and your staff and the CAC, along with the PTA, the Sheriff's Department, the Fishers Fire Department. Very nice event, 30 or 40 children, and I think that there's opportunities to scale that. The setup of it was tremendously fun for my children. It looked like it was a fun time that was had by all. So thank you, Brian, and please extend that to your staff that helped.
Yes, and what I failed to mention, we have Victor Hiking Trail. They're celebrating their 30th year anniversary on the 4th on National Hiking Trail Day. I think it's from, starts at 11, I think with bike and maybe a hike as well. And then I think they have bands and tents and music and what else? Food from 2 to 8 or 1 to 8, something.
1 to 8.
Yep, so Mead Square Park, sounds like a great time, so. Okay, moving to the business section of this evening's agenda, starting with Resolution 1, authorization, application for the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. And again, this is for backup generators at 4 different pump stations.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 2, this is authorized for the application to the New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services. This would be for project costs and engineering and remediation of the Boughton Park dams.
And this is just our portion of it, correct?
What's that?
Right? Is this just split? How is this split? This
Yeah,
is just
so-
for us, right?
We, yes, we will be the other two municipalities, again, based on our 88%, 89% assessed value, but the other two communities certainly will be. We did have a Zoom meeting, Councilman Condon and I participated maybe about a week ago, 10 days ago, with the other two supervisors, and Scott Harmon, one of the quote-unquote committee of 6, has taken on the role of liaison on behalf of the 6 of us. So, great question, though.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and this is the appointment of Wesley Dow, Highway Motor Equipment Operator. And again, based on, again, we know it was last summer, but Randy's retirement put Mark at the Highway Department at a little bit of a disadvantage regarding Class A CDL drivers, and Mr. Wesley will fill that capacity for the highway.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, petition the New York State Department of Transportation to evaluate the speed limit on Lane Road.
So moved.
Second.
I'd like to think that, with the school activity on Lane Road, that this would certainly,
Well, there was another accident there at County Road 9 in Lane within the last 2 weeks. There was an accident there
yeah.
at prime time.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 5, authorization to sell miscellaneous highway department equipment at an auction.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Councilman Kohovic. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, agreement, this is with Mary Capozzi to provide yoga instructions. Again, the first resolve has the breakdown percentage-wise.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 7, limited permission for alcoholic beverage permit. This is for the Parks and Rec, the Park Series, for the concerts this summer. Again, application, is it actually Twin Elder that applies through the New York State? Yeah. Because he has his existing license, he's just looking for the, thank you.
So moved.
You have a local law that you have to satisfy with having the permit. He also submits an application under a special event with the Liquor Authority.
Okay, thank you. We have a first by.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 8 is declaring a 2014 Ford F-150 as surplus.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 9, I'm thinking this is a typo on the first resolve. Public hearing should be held on June 27th. It states at least,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would be June 27th.
so, okay, so in that first resolve, I'm going to reflect public hearing to be held at 7 PM on June 27th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, license and hold harmless agreement, 1070 Azano, is that how it's pronounced? Circle to allow encroachment and drainage easement, and again, as we mentioned, it's a matter of just satisfying the staff there and then working through attorney.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 11, accept surety Scout Path subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, moving to public comment. Again, an opportunity for members of the public to speak. Suzie, do you have anyone with you? Okay, at this time, entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Kevin, the meeting started at 7. What do you got? You just got done?